All righty. Welcome back to another episode of the Scaling Brokerage podcast, where we have on top brokerage owners and team leads dive deep, get their insights on growing and managing a thriving brokerage business. So if it's your first time joining us, thank you so much for tuning in. And today we have a special guest, Kim. So I will give it over to you, Kim. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your brokerage time realty.
So I have been in the business going on 22 years. I started out with a franchise brokerage that I really loved. I opened my own boutique real estate brokerage in 2017, and really, truthfully, I just wanted to be able to offer a little bit more of a personalized service. And I was bringing my team with me, which is my daughter, who was a full-time buyer's agent, and my best friend, who was a full-time buyer's agent. We were a team with the other brokerage. And I started looking into maybe a franchise myself, looking for franchises. And I just thought, the cost was starting to increase, and I wanted to be able to stay within a budget. When you're on a team and when you're with these any brokerage, you always you pay your broker commissions, a split.
Absolutely.
And, I was trying to keep at least in that budget or less. And so that was the goal, to see if I can open the brokerage and stay within that budget. And I was able to do so. I just opened the brokerage. It was just going to be myself and my little small team. That was it. I had no intention of really kind of growing the brokerage, at least at that point. And then I started getting approached. A client who was now a realtor called, and of course, you got to let them come with you. And so that kind of happened. And then another little brokerage in the town that I'm in had reached out to me and wanted me to they wanted to affiliate. They're a franchise, and they wanted me to affiliate with them and be the broker. And just running the numbers and things like that, I thought, I don't really know that that's going to be real beneficial. And really, truthfully, there's a lot of agents out there that think that they need to have a big box franchise name behind them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. And I was able to be successful and completely fine with my own database and repeat business and referrals. And the eye-opener for me right before I really opened my own brokerage was I had a repeat client, and I had switched brokerages in the interim from when they were first my client to a couple years later. And when I had left them the listing paperwork, after they signed it, they went to come drop it off at the office, and they dropped it off at my old office. And I thought, they don't even know, they didn't even care. They realized they didn't even care. All they were doing was they were hiring me, and they were not hiring the name of the brokerage. Mm-hmm. And that was a good testament to, okay, it's time. So that's when I kind of really started looking into it a little bit more. And that was the goal. And so that particular brokerage that had reached out to me, they were not doing very well. And some of the agents ended up not even, one of the agents was actually part owner in it. And she was the one that had reached out to me. And, after looking into the things, I did decline, and they actually ended up ending their agreement and coming over to my brokerage.
There you go. Can't have anybody just piggybacking off your own success. So that's great that eventually they decided to make the move over to you.
Right. And so it just kind of started building. I'm very picky. I'm not a strong recruiter. I have put out some, information here and there, letting agents come to me. And I just really put it out there, the kind of person I am and the company that I run. And I'm going to say pretty much every one of them, except for one, I recruited one. All of the rest of them did come to me based on reputation, the kind of person I am, the kind of company that I'm running.
That's great. I mean, putting in, being a boutique brokerage, you really have that personalized effect that really brings a lot of people in. So I know you mentioned, maybe you're not the strongest recruiter. what's been, I guess, some of the biggest challenges that you've had to face as a brokerage owner so far? I mean, would you say it's been recruiting, or would you say
I,
it's been some other stuff?
I probably say recruiting because I know everyone says our title as realtors or real estate agents is we are salespeople, but I don't
Hmm.
consider myself a salesperson. I am more of an advisor, and I'm there to give them all of the information that they need, and it's their decision. So that being said, I'm not pushy. They make it on their own timeline and things like that. Unfortunately, that probably is how I am with recruiting. I I might second guess myself in respect, and I'm like, oh, that agent's probably going to want to stay there. And then next thing I know, they're with another brokerage, and I'm like kicking myself. I'm like, why did I not reach out to them? So I think that's really the biggest part of it is, and I do truly believe that many agents think that they need the big franchise names behind them. Um, I've been doing 2017 with this is March will be 8 years that I opened it. Hopefully 8 years is enough to show someone you do not need the big brokers names behind you. You are your own company. You are independent. Yes, you have to have your license with a broker, but there's a lot of benefits to being with a boutique brokerage.
Absolutely. I love that take. That's amazing. So, remind me, how many agents do you have now? I know it's always changing.
Including myself, there's 11.
11. Okay. So, I mean, despite not feeling like a super strong recruiter, you've been able to bring on, you're over 10 agents, including yourself now. So that's amazing. So I guess we can kind of transition towards the marketing and lead generation side of things. So what are you doing right now to bring leads in to your brokerage? Do you provide leads for your agents? Is it more eat what you kill?
I will. They are independent, and I'm trying to teach them. We have an office meeting tomorrow too, as well. I'm trying to lean on them to be as independent as you can and build your business, because as much as I want them to stay with me forever, and I hope that they do, um, things happen in their life. Maybe they have to move, things go on, and then build that foundation so that no matter where you go, you can do this again, even if you have to start all over again. God forbid, nobody wants to do that. But, you know, build your foundation on how you receive it. And the biggest, uh, personally, is referrals and repeat business. Is 96% of my business last year was referrals and repeat business. And so I am trying to instill in them to, get out there, be with your clients, service them afterwards, even during the time, be different. Your communication is different, the things that you do, so that the customers keep coming back to you. As far as sending leads to agents, sometimes I do. Yes, it depends on the situation, and it depends on who. I have a agent that he's really starting to focus on investor friendly. Someone came through with a referral, and I said, let's send it to him. And I have actually a couple agents that are starting to become more investor friendly. And it's really, if a lead comes through, whether it's the phone, through the office, online, it's really going to be who's available. Because unfortunately, the customer wants to talk to a realtor usually right away. And
Yep.
we don't sit in the office all day. We are on the road. We're out. We're mingling. We're with clients. And so it's kind of like I would like them to be able to be, if someone needs to meet you in the office, see if you can be there within 30 minutes, something to that respect. But I am doing some online research right now to try to generate leads that we can just send to the agents, but it's really in beginning stages of research. We're just switching website builders and going to try to really focus on some SEO and things like that to, do it the hard manual way where you're not paying for leads. Unfortunately, either it's me, I know I hear all of these agents, Facebook ads, all of these things that they say do. It just hasn't worked for me. I don't know why. I'm more of a people person, and I feel like they've come through and they really want to just get information about the house. They don't want to talk to a person, so as of right there, that's kind of, I've just not been successful on any of those things. Like I said, the majority of mine is servicing my clients, and then the business comes back.
Absolutely. And I know how overwhelming it can be these days with the amount of offers that are out there whenever it comes to, like you mentioned, SEO, Facebook ads, everything that they're doing with AI nowadays. There is so many different ways to generate leads in this market. A lot of the times doesn't always work out, these companies that are pushing some stuff on. So I know what you mean. You know, that the tried and true method, if it's working for you, then that's amazing. Obviously, doing what works is the best thing that you could possibly do. So that's great. I love that. So yeah, I would love to kind of explore where your brokerage is headed. So I mean, I know that you know the real estate industry is constantly evolving. So I guess where do you see the future of your brokerage? Where do you see your brokerage headed down the line?
So I've expanded to the Eastern Shore, which is another just right over the line for where I'm at. So I would like to build more of a presence there where I'm at, which is the Eastern Shore of Maryland. I would like to get more agents. I'm looking to get at least probably, I'm going to really start focusing this year. I would like to get 10 by the end of the year. And I really would love to get to a point where the leads go out to all of the agents, whether it's a referral, it goes to my team, someone, and I would love to get to a point where I am just the broker and not in production.
That's amazing. And really, you know, after talking to brokerage owners and team leads for a while, it seems like that's a really, really common theme. That's probably, again, I'm not 100% sure, but probably the reason you started your brokerage. At least I know with our founder, Alan, that's definitely the reason that he started his brokerage, is to work his way out of production, and really have this thing running for him, generating him money for whenever he's ready to retire. So I love that goal, wanting to add 10 agents this year in a new market. That is amazing. That's exciting. It's a little bit daunting. So
Now,
what are your plans to break into that new market?
now that I've said it publicly, I'm in trouble. I think what it really is it's some of the agents that I've called that are kind of like on the fence. I personally, it happens to me. I get calls from Joe Smith, who is a virtual assistant, or just someone that so and so from such and such brokerage would love to talk to you an opportunity about recruiting, about coming to their brokerage. Obviously, I know that they had not looked into me whatsoever, because if they did, they would know that I was the owner.
Yeah.
And I've had companies calling me saying, look, we can do this recruiting for you, but they don't know the agents. And so I pick up the phone myself and I call the agent myself and introduce myself and I speak myself. I'm not a third party. I am the broker. I am the owner. I am the one that wants to introduce you to my company because I'm the one that knows the most about it. And I have gotten calls, although, comments from agents, although they didn't come, but they were so appreciative that it was a real person, that it was the real, and that's just a foot in the door. Who knows? Maybe they'll change their mind later on down the road, but that's going to be my focus. I research them. I look and see who they are personally, how they're living their life on social media. I have a reputation to uphold. We're pretty conservative here in our brokerage, and I don't want customers and clients going on people's social media and seeing crazy stuff going on. We just so I look at them first, and then I look at their volume and I look at their personality and see how they carry themselves to see if there's someone that I would think that I would want with my brokerage. And it's hard because I've been in the business for 22 years, so I know a lot of them already.
Yeah.
So
Do you know a lot of the agents out in the new market on the coast that you're looking to get into as well, or?
I do not. So that's something new that I really need to kind of start exploring. But I really want to concentrate on the Delaware brokerage more, get that to a certain point, and then kind of focus the other end.
Awesome. That's amazing. Have you ever leveraged any of, like, I guess, the agent attraction kind of models rather than the going out, and obviously the cold calling and the calling people is the tried and true method.
So,
Prospecting for agents definitely works. Have you ever thought about trying to put a system in place that attracts them to you?
so the only thing that I've done so far is on Facebook, social media, and I've videoed, and I've kind of given little bios, I guess, about myself, of the kind of person I am. And I have my website built same way. who we are, what we stand for. Anybody can go on the computer and find a house, but you have the right person who's looking out for your best interest. And so I've, done some bios on me, and I put that out there on social media. And I've said, our meeting can be strictly confidential. It doesn't hurt to ask, that type of stuff. And one of the newer agents that I have, they did come on board with that. So I kind of feel like I need to start doing that. I haven't done that in several months, but I do need to start doing some kind of, this is who we are, reviews, getting some things out there, so that hopefully that will bring them to me.
That's amazing. Yeah, I know how powerful it can be to have a system in place that's constantly working for you. So yeah, could be a good thing to try whenever it's time to start to expand over to that other market.
Right.
So yeah, great. So I guess we're kind of coming up to that golden question here. So I guess if you had to start over, rebuild your brokerage today from scratch, what would be the advice that you give yourself to get yourself to the point you're at now?
So I do think, as far as recruiting the agents, I kind of needed to make a presence and show that it could succeed, so they know, it's safe to come over, so to speak. But as far as myself, when you get into the real estate business, you're so busy. Our market goes up and down, and really putting systems in place, even your CRM from the very beginning. And I'm trying to drill that into my agents now. I'm telling them, you are going to get busy, and that is going to drop, and you are going to be in pain. So I think really putting systems in place, being organized, and having a marketing plan and a business plan, and revisiting that every year, or maybe even twice a year, to see how it's working out. Is the plan going as scheduled? I think that's the really biggest thing to focus on, is have a system in place. And if that is the case, then you will get more business from your repeat clients and referrals.
That is amazing. I love that. And so let's say, planning and organization is the name of the game. People fully underestimate planning. I'm sure you've probably heard this before. Generally, people plan their yearly vacation more than they plan their own lives. And that is a pretty crazy thing to think about. So let's say I'm a new agent and I want to join your brokerage. What is the qualifications for a new agent to join your brokerage?
So you have to have a heart for people. You have to care about their outcome. And this is a hard pill to swallow. And sometimes you have to care about their income the majority of the time, more than you care about, oh boy, I may not get paid on this one. You just need to. And that could happen sometimes. That could happen a lot of times. But it doesn't matter, because you need to look out for them the best. They have hired us. We are the ones with the experience. We have to guide them in the right way. So you have to have a really heart for people and put them above yourself. In regards to, the transaction itself. Of course, if you're in the middle of eating dinner and they need you right away, finish your dinner with your family or whatever it may be. So that's really the main qualification. As of right now, I am not taking on new agents right out of real estate school, because there's a training program process that they have to go through. And as of right now, unless I can get an agent to build the training program and teach, that's a whole different story. But right now, running the brokerage, helping the agents, and my own team inside the brokerage, I just don't have the time to put through a training program. That is so, and therefore I would probably want them to have at least 1 to 2 years experience. You've done some transactions where I'm not, tiptoeing and babysitting every second of the way. So I think that those are the two main requirements.
That's great. And yeah, I mean, I know how difficult it can be to get those first couple transactions out of the way. You really got to handhold sometimes, but I really love that take. Kind of going back to what you were saying about real estate professionals being considered sales representatives. I really love that take. Obviously, I myself have sold a lot of offers to this date. So really trying to get that out of your brain. I'm not a sales rep. I'm an educator, and I'm here to serve.
Right.
That is really, I love that. That's really powerful. Us as sales representatives or real estate professionals are here to serve others. So I love that. That's great.
Right.
So yeah, is there anything else you'd like to get out there to our viewers before we get ready to wrap this thing up?
I think don't be afraid if you kind of have that little itch to open your own brokerage. I'd say do it. Don't think that you need to be under a franchise. I just think do it. There's no regrets. So I think that, sure, do we have competition? As a recruiter, as a small brokerage, if you want to just keep it your little self or your team and have your little brokerage that way, that's fine. If you want to try to build, yes, we have competition because these franchises have spent thousands and thousands and millions of dollars on marketing, right? To brand themselves. They've done a great job. So now it's trying to convince the agents that that's not needed.
Absolutely.
And so try to keep it very costly for them. I know that they pay out a lot of money in taxes. They pay money out to their splits. They, license here, fees here, fees here. I really tried to keep it flat so that they're not spending a lot of money so they can keep the majority of their compensation in their own pocket.
Take that leap of faith. Do
Yeah.
not hesitate and get out there in the business. I love that. That's great, Kim. So, Kim, this has been an incredible conversation. I always appreciate real estate professionals who are willing to contribute to the industry and really get some tips out there to some other owners, team leads, and agents who are going to be listening. So before we sign off, you want to let our listeners know where they can find you, if you have any social media, website, or anything like that?
Yes. So social media, obviously, Facebook is Kim Simpson Realty Group, founder, broker of Time Real Estate. So is the Instagram, Kim Simpson, founder, broker of Time Real Estate. I'm on LinkedIn under Kim Simpson, and which there's probably tons of Kim Simpsons, but if you click on me, you'll see. And then I am obviously, I have cell phone 302-690-0245, and email is time like the herb realestate@gmail.com.
That's amazing. I will be sure to shoot you over that LinkedIn connection as soon as we get finished up here. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to another episode of the Scaling Brokerage Podcast. Thank you so much, Kim, for coming on and sharing your insights to the business. And we look forward to our next episode. Thank you so much, Kim.
You're so welcome. Have a great day.